Salute to everyone who is watching. Today we're going back to Dublin. So, been a while since I was talking about an emergency account, and I just realized that I have to make another video on how can you create an emergency account. So I just decided that I'm going to do it via the slideshow. And as you know, I already done a video on how can you create an emergency account, but I thought that it is crucial for me to actually create another one, and so that you can be able to know what can you do so that you can create an emergency account. So let's see. What is an emergency account? An emergency account is an account in which you put money to cover expenses that are unforeseen in the future. Obviously, when you do an emergency account, those expenses should be emergencies only, just like it is said, an emergency account. So it is an account that you use so that you can be able to put money out there, put money and save money so that when problems arise that you might not predict are going to arise, you know that you have some account or you have a money that you stored so that when those things come, you not become surprised. So where should you put the money and how much should you put? So you should put it in as a savings account because it gives a little bit of interest while the money is there and it is easy to access. So it is very much crucial for you to be able to do this by putting it in a savings account. You see, a check account obviously is the one that get bills. They charge you because of the admin fee, but the savings account, they don't charge you for the admin fee, and they give you a little bit of interest. A lot of times you'll find that it's 0.001%. It's not that much, but the fortunate part about putting it in a savings account is that you have easy access to it. So meaning that if your geyser punctures right now, in the next hour, you can have the cash with you. It should contain at least 3 or 6 months worth of your expenses. It is subjective from one person to another. So you know your expenses. You know typically on a monthly basis, what are your expenses. So ideally for a lot of people, it is a 2 months worth of salary, depending on the expenses. But obviously your expenses are directly proportional to your salary so that you know that your expenses are well equivalent with the kind of salary that you have. So make sure that it is at least 2 amounts worth of money that is inside your emergency accounts. So how many emergency accounts should you have? Have at least one, but have others just in case. It's very much crucial to know that you should have at least one. But sometimes putting one eggs in a basket is dangerous. So you can put one or have two. Ideally, I have two. So you can just do that. There's a difference between an emergency account and a savings account. Listen to this. A savings account is the money you set aside for various purposes. You understand? It is when you have a specific goal that you want to achieve, like a vacation or a new car, or for the fact that you want to save so that you have money for the little things that you want to have, your air times and all of those stuff. But an emergency account is money that you put aside for emergencies only. If your car breaks down, you know that you have money that you have stored so that you can be able to do that emergency, be able to fulfill that emergency. This is the money that is already spent should a problem come up. This is not the money that you're supposed to just spend on anything. That's why you can just have a savings account separate with an emergency account, and you can do that. some banks actually offer what we call pockets, and you can use those pockets in able to gain interest whilst you are putting money in there. Because sometimes, yes, emergencies might not occur and at a long period of time, but at least you'll be gaining some kind of interest whilst the money is there. So how much would you need in it? Think about the most common kind of expenses you've had in the past and how much they cost. You understand? This will help in settling a goal amount and how you are going to get there. Ideally for people who are working, just like I said, is 2 months worth of salary. If you have 10,000, put another 10,000 in there. If your salary is 10,000 but your expenses they are like 8,000, so it's ideally to put 30,000, because if the more things that you have, especially when it comes to expenses, is the more money you're gonna have to have in your emergency account. So I wanted to actually put as a practical example. Let me see if I can't make a practical example of what I want to talk about. So I want to be a little bit specific when it comes to the figures that you can do. I want you to do this every time that you have an emergency account. I want you to do this. I want you to be able to calculate it. Actually, that's not what I wanted to say. I'll remember it because of this. So how much? Let's see if we can get text. Oh, here it is. So how much? Your emergency account should be probably 50%, 25 to 50% of your salary. Let's say you have 20,000 salary and you multiply it by 0. Let's say 30% for argument's sake. Let's see what it brings us to. Let me just use my phone. So 20,000 times 30% is 6,000 rands. Is 6,000. So every month you should put at least 6,000 in your emergency account. Let's say it's you put at least half of your salary. So 0.5 obviously it's close to 10,000, right? And it's going to help you in the future, you see. So you can budget it the way that you want. So look at your finances and see what are your expenses. Let's just use the 20,000 rand and let's say your expenses are 8,000 rand. So 20,000. And when I say expenses, I say car insurance, bills, kids, food, whatever. Let's just say it's 8,000. So you are left with 12,000. And if you put 12,000, then that is what you have, 12,000. Then what you do is that you use these figures, one of these percentages. Then obviously, let's say you used 6,000 minus 6,000. So equals to 6,000, obviously. Then this figure, this is the one that you are going to use as your own. You understand? You can save 25% of this figure. You can do what you need at that moment, but make sure that you have cash always. Remember that video that I said that money advices that you have to use so that you can move forward. This is one of the money advices that you can use. This is a pretty straightforward video. I hope you find it helpful. As we go, we'll do another one that is a little bit more detailed and practical. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so remember that. Always remember /TechXY, so just reach you out.